Alright, hey everybody, Vulcan here. So someone requested a archer farming guide, so I thought that I would go ahead and set one of these up. I am actually playing on the Steam version because for whatever reason appHEARance decided that it wanted to actually record the entire Google Chrome screen instead of just the oops, that's a new button. Instead of just the game screen in Chrome. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try on Steam. We'll see how well it works. You know, it's been kind of fishy before. So yeah. So to start off, so obviously we're an archer. Archers use bows as their main weapon, and then quivers as their ability. With the quiver, it will actually paralyze the enemy as well as doing a certain amount of damage to them. And that is a very handy ability, I believe. I've always thought that, you know, it's like my favorite ability. So that's, you know, one of the main reasons why I use Archer. You do get a very, well, I don't know, it's a good amount of damage that you actually do with the quiver. And then on top of that, you know, you are paralyzing the enemy. So, you know, for boss battles like with, let's see, not Septavius. I don't know why I want to keep saying Septavius, but, what's his name? The Lord, the Abyss. You guys, you know what I mean. Okay, the guy in the Abyss. We'll just go with that one. Malphas. There we go. Got it. Malphas in the Abyss. It's absolutely my favorite ability because once he goes to, once he shrinks down and becomes really annoying when he does that, he actually, if you can get a paralyze in, he takes damage throughout the entire phase that he's small, that he shrunk down, and so that is like the absolutely best time to get damage in on him, and then you'll be able to kill him in almost no time at all. I have killed him like on with a little bit of assistance, just on like a fresh unpotted level 20, if you can get the paralyzed timed and, you know, have decent gear. So it definitely makes boss battles quite a bit easier. And then also, on top of that, you know, you have the untiered quiver, the Quiver of Thunder, and what that does is it actually halves the amount of projectiles that that an enemy will shoot out. And it does it in not like every other bullet, but like literally half of the attacks actually don't get fired. So like in Oryx, when he does like a full ring of quiet, like he does to try and quiet everyone in the room, he'll actually only do like one side of that, one half of that, and so an entire half of him you'll be able to actually get on that side, and you can dodge all of his weaks and as well as all of his quiets as well, or yeah, all of his quiets and as well as all of his weaks. So then you'll be able to do the full amount of your damage while you're also, you know, not having any projectiles fired at you because, you know, he's not shooting them from one side. And you also have your MP because he didn't get quiet on you. So the quivers are definitely a really great awesome. A really great ability. Not a really great awesome. So they're a really great ability to have. They're very versatile. Some people prefer the Huntress over the Archer because you actually have a very large area of effect with the traps that the Huntress puts down. But I don't like that you have to be able to, like, you have to be able to plan ahead and be able to shoot that ahead of your enemies. Or you could also use it as, like, a denial, area denial. So, like, if you're in, let's say you're rushing through an abyss or whatever, and you want to go ahead and shoot one of the traps in front of, like, a, one of the doorways to another room. And then, so from the doorway, they're going to have to pass through that trap, and then they'll be either slowed, or if you've got a, the coral trap, then they'll actually be paralyzed in that whole area. And it also does a bit of damage as well. So it's a very useful ability, but it's just not for me. You know, I like to be able to actually aim my shot and have it, like, pierce through enemies, rather than having to kind of guess ahead and try and land it, and you know, sometimes it'll miss and it just doesn't even work, obviously if they don't walk through it. So yeah, I'll just stick to my quiver links. So that's the ability of the archer and the untiered. On top of that, so let's go back to the bow. The bow is actually a really versatile weapon. One of the more versatile weapons in the game, really. Just because once you start getting the higher level bows and the higher level gear, there's actually, it branches out. It really does branch out on what you can do with it. The very first branch off that you'll see when you come across the different bows is the double bow, and this is going to be, it actually ends up shooting out 2 arrows. It does a little bit less damage. The singular shot bow that could be compared to the double bow would be the heavy crossbow. Ah, darn it, shotgun. Would be the heavy crossbow, and what the heavy crossbow does, it only shoots 1 shot, but it does a bit more damage. But the thing with the double bow is if you can get both of the arrows on the enemy, then you can actually end up doing more damage, because it does, you know, X amount of damage per shot per arrow. And so if you can get both arrows on the enemy, which would require getting a little bit closer, then you actually end up doing more damage. So really it does depend on your playstyle. Early on at least, but then, you know, once you start getting a little bit further on in the game, you'll kind of be forced to go to the multiple projectile weapons, like the triple, let's see, there would be the golden bow, and then there is the verdant, and then, you know, the bow of Fey Magic, the blood bow, and all of those are triple shot, and so there's not really an alternative one that you can use in place for like a single arrow doing like X amount of damage higher. Not until at least you get a doom bow, but those only drop from Septavius and they're pretty darn expensive. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, so the untiered bows, they are the doom bow and the coral bow. Let's see, the doom bow does, it's a single shot weapon, and it does a tremendous amount of damage. Once you get like max attack, you'll easily be doing 900 to 1,000 damage per arrow. It does shoot quite a bit slower than any other bow, but just the sheer amount of damage that you're going to be doing to like single enemies is just like so ridiculously awesome that it just doesn't even matter. So there's that, and then let's see, the other untiered is the coral bow, which it's like a heavily upgraded double bow. It shoots out 2 arrows at, I believe it's 125% of the actual attack speed. So your dexterity is boosted quite a lot, and then on top of that, you're also doing, you know, quite a bit more damage. And so what people, well, the rich people that can afford it like to do, you actually end up carrying two of the bows, unless you really just prefer the one. But for utility, you carry 2 of the bows. So you use the coral bow for taking out smaller enemies, the weaker enemies that don't have a whole lot of defense. You'll use the coral bow on them just to mow them all down like very quickly. But then for the harder hitting enemies, such as events or boss enemies, you'll actually end up using the doom bow for them. A lot of them do have quite a bit of defense, but at the same time, some of them don't. So it's getting to know which enemies the weapon is best for, and that sort of thing. Once you're able to actually get those, you'll get a better feel for them once you start using them on enemies and that sort of thing. So really, it's just an experience type thing once you've actually had a little bit of use with the class. So let's see, where should I move on from? So those are the bows. Those are currently like the only untiered bows, but really they cover such a wide variety of different playstyles and uses that there's really not a whole lot else that you can really ask for, to be honest. Let's see, I can't find the Godlands, so I'm almost level 5, so I should be alright if I'm careful. let's see, there's an example of the coral bow right there, the bright hot pink one. But let's see, y'all, where was I? There we go, there's a Godlands. Ooh, and a bit of armor. Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, they recently introduced the context-sensitive double click, and it's very, very useful. You'll actually end up picking stuff or drinking stuff off the ground by just double clicking it, and it makes it, you know, really, really easy to play the game. You don't have to drag anymore, and it makes things quite a bit simpler. Let's see, yeah, current events in the realm, I guess. I did make a guild. I went with one of the comments in the description. I thought Rebirth sounded like a really cool guild name, and so I decided to go with that. So that's currently what the guild's called. A few of you guys may have seen me running around in the guild. Unfortunately, I'm not sending out invites to people quite yet. I do want to do some kind of either like a puzzle or a crossword or like a trivia or like a treasure hunt or something like that. Something to make it a little bit more fun and a bit more challenging to make the people that do take out those 50 slots, you know, make it worth it. You know, you'll have earned that position in the guild, and so that's what I want to go ahead and do. So there's that, you know, Rebirth. There it is. There's currently no one in the guild, and I don't know, I might have, I think I've got like maybe 1,000 fame towards the next guild hall upgrade. So yeah. It costs 10,000. I have put in 320, so yeah. So we're getting there, and I haven't done anything as far as the guild board goes, so yeah, we'll just leave that for now. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll do like a news post or something like that, a news video to get the word out there when I do decide to actually, you know, put out that puzzle or whatever it is that I do end up doing. So there's that. Yeah. I don't know, there's not a whole lot I can do until I can find, like, a new bow or a new quiver or something like that. You'll notice that the lower tier quivers actually only do slow. They don't do paralyze, which is, you know, it's a bit annoying, but, you know, you'll survive. Slow really isn't all that bad, you know, it's still useful having enemies be slowed. So yeah, so you know, I don't know why it's my favorite. It just always has been. It makes shooting them a whole lot easier, at least, anyway. Let's see, I believe these guys drop double bows, so this could be a good place for me to be. We'll see. Hopefully something drops for me. Let's see, rings. Let's see, I generally prefer the, like, either a... We got ouch, just potions. I generally prefer to have I like to run around with the a ring of defense, personally, but there are a few other rings that would come in handy. For the most part, I feel like archers do kind of have like a weaker attack, and so I would recommend if you wanted it, you know, if you feel you're comfortable with dodging and you could survive without like a defense or HP ring, I would recommend like an attack ring, just because they do have, I don't know, they're not like weak as far as attack goes, but the bows don't really do all that much damage by themselves, and so the extra attack would definitely help. Dexterity, I really wouldn't recommend dexterity, just because, you know, archers are already pretty dexterous, as it is, so a ring of dexterity really isn't all that necessary. Speed, you know, I don't really recommend rings of speed unless you're just swapping to it to run across the map or something like that. I don't see the extra speed really being all that useful. Let's see, there's an example of the, well, he swapped to his coral bow, but he had the doom bow, and then he also has the elvish, the quiver of elvish mastery. right now. And then let's see, so there's that. There's an example of his gear, and then the armor he has, the leather, is the coral. Let's see, what's it called? The coral silk. Yeah, coral silk armor. You do sacrifice, I believe it's like 1 defense or something like that for a bit of extra speed. Again, I don't recommend those for archers. For rogues, they're good, because you really don't necessarily need the defense quite as much, since you're able to cloak in and out. So that extra speed definitely is useful for them for getting in and out of, you know, events and that sort of thing. So that's useful for them. But for archers, I would say just stick to a griffin and then the hydra after that. Another closed realm. Hopefully I don't die this time. So that's the leather armor. I don't know the stats on the new armor that just came out with Davy Jones' locker. But if I remember correctly, I don't believe it's all that great. But I can't really say for certain though. So there's that. But it is out. The new dungeon, Davy Jones' locker. I went into one once on a Necro, and I didn't want to die, so I didn't really participate too much. But there, you actually need keys. You have to find the keys in the dungeon, and there are enemies, ghost enemies that are like constantly spawning throughout the whole dungeon. So you really do have to watch your back like at all times, because you really don't know where an enemy could come from. So it definitely makes things pretty crazy. But for like a fresh level 20 Necro, it's a really dangerous place to be in. I wouldn't recommend going into it, you know, unless you're at least a little bit potted, just because it is pretty dangerous, to be honest. Let's see, there's Dr. Frank has a quiver of thunder on, that purple and black one, and that's what does the dazed effect to enemies, which, you know, makes half of their attacks not work. So that's really convenient. Or not work, but, you know, he literally just doesn't shoot them out, whoever is dazed. So that's cool. Let's see, inventory composition. I would recommend having health pots over MP pots. You do use your ability from time to time, but for the most part, you kind of only use it for more clutch moments when you actually need it. And you don't really need it all that often, because you're able to kill down most of the weaker enemies pretty quickly, just using the multi-shot bows, and so that's not too much of a problem. So yeah, you know, don't be afraid to carry a few MP pots. They're always useful to have, especially if you've got like a priest or someone around you. You know, you can just kind of hold on to those for the priest or whatever. Oh, I'm getting a lot of input lag. This is why I don't use the Steam client. But anyways, yeah. So, you know, don't be afraid to if you have empty slots to like carry an MP pot or two around. They do have their uses, and they are useful for other people, and you can always give them to other people if they need them as well. So there's that. Yeah, so HP pots over MP, but don't be afraid to use MP. That's just, you know, that's my suggestion to you. However it is that you like to play, you know, feel free to do it your way. Let's see, moving on. Let's see, I've already covered armor, quivers, bows. I kind of went off on a rant when I went with the rings. So as far as rings go, vitality, I wouldn't recommend. Wisdom, I wouldn't recommend. Dexterity, I wouldn't recommend. Defense and HP, I do recommend. Really, there are pros and cons to each of the rings, the HP and defense. You know, for the harder hitting enemies, defense is going to be your friend, but for the weaker enemies, then you're going to want HP. But I don't like to swap out my rings while I'm in battle, so I generally tend to stick to the defense ring. So that's what, personally, I would recommend a ring of defense over anything else. But if if you're more confident in your abilities than I am, because I always end up dying, oh god, he broke my armor. Pretty much anything he throws at me could have killed me there. Oh, that was lucky. That was very lucky. So yeah, you know, if you believe that you can actually, I'm doing threes to him. This is silly. If you are confident that you know, you're able to dodge effectively and that sort of thing, then the ring of attack would be my alternative ring that I would recommend. Or HP, you know, again, depends on your playstyle, and you know what your preferences are. So there's that. Those are the rings. I got the armor, the quiver, and the bows down. I guess when you go to pot up your character, I always recommend going for defense first, just on any character. Defense is always going to be the most useful to you, just because, you know, you're able to take so much more damage when you have extra defense. This won't turn out well. Will it? Will it? Please? No. Oh. Oh god. Oh. Nope. No. Go away. Go away. Go away. Yes! I made it! Oh, nope. Give me that. I want that. No. Go away. Okay, watch me. I know I'm not gonna get soulbound, so I don't even why I'm bothering to do this. But here I come, orcs. But watch out. My short bow's gonna get ya. So yeah, let's see. So I've covered basically, yeah, as I was saying, defense first. Let's see, is that, yeah, see, this is a good example of the dazed effect. You saw how the waves that he was shooting out from the side of him was only going to one side. It wasn't the best example. Maybe he'll do another one pretty soon here on Better Phase. I hate the artifact phase most of all, for sure, because it's just so impossible to actually find like that sweet spot to dodge any of the damage coming at you. But yeah, so ouch. Defense first. It really doesn't matter all that much what you decide to do after that. I would recommend, you know, attack or speed or dexterity. Dexterity is pretty easy to do because it's so cheap, or speed. And they both have quite good benefits. You know, attack also is also a good one to get up. Vitality and wisdom can wait. You know, if you find an undead layer or whatever, feel free to go into that and grab the whiz out of there, but you don't really need to prioritize wisdom or vitality. And then mana is actually pretty cheap now. It won't help you all that much, but you know, that's a ring or one that I would personally save for later, as well as life pots I would save for later. So yeah, you know, defense first, attack, speed, dexterity next, and then of the other four, it's really whatever you just would rather have. And I'm surprised that didn't kill me. It was pretty darn close. Yeah, no soulbound. Darn. I really wasn't expecting any. Maybe someone's gonna do a wine cellar. That'd be fun. Not really. Oh, I want a hippo. Give me your hippo. So yeah, you know, def, attack, speed, dexterity. And then Vit, Wiz, and life, and mana come whenever you feel like doing those, whenever you can't afford to. Again, I wouldn't recommend playing on the character that you want to pot up. I would always recommend using either a second account, or if you've got like 4 extra slots, go for the farmer. Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's actually, for a very limited time, I recommend getting it while you still can. There's a discount on, you get 2,600 gold, or no, it costs 2,600 gold, which is about $20. So you spend the $20, then you get, let's see, was it 2 vault slots, and either 2 or 3 vault slots, and then like 2 more character slots as well. Let's see, 1, 2, yeah, it's 2 more character slots, and I believe 3 more vault slots. And on top of that, you'll also get a new pet. Let's see. So yeah, let's see. I'm pretty sure it's 3. You also get a new pet, which is one of the karate penguins. I got the red one. Or it's either red or orange. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's red. But there's red, orange, purple, and I think green for options of pets from that. So yeah, oh no, there's a blue one. Red, blue, purple, orange, something like that. I don't know. So yeah, let me just grab the hamster, because I really want the hamster. I thought that was the coolest thing. I wasn't sure what I was looking at when I first signed in and walked up to it. I thought it was like, I didn't know what it was. You know, I thought it was like some kind of use item. I don't even know. But it's a hamster and a wheel and in a ball, and that's like the coolest thing ever. And it's kind of animated. You know, I was kind of hoping the ball would look like it moved a little bit more, but you just see the hamster kind of moving around back and forth. But that's pretty cool. That's cool, I think. You know, everybody spent all their gold on the new dinosaur. So most people don't have the hamster quite yet, but I thought it was pretty cool, so I had to get it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, what else is there to really talk about? I guess first priority, as far as gear goes, if you're going to end up buying gear, would be to get a bow. The extra shots from the bows or whatever is really going to be what helps you out. Just because you do actually need like the extra defense and stuff like that. You know, I'm doing so little damage to this guy. It's going to take forever to kill him. Oh god, snakes. Snakes. Can I have a new bow? Nope, no new bows. This defense ring is really nice too. I'm glad I was able to grab that from Orcs. Or the Guardians, rather. Someone dropped it. Okay, time to get out of here. They don't even give experience. I'm not going to bother with them. What am I going to? An Ent Ancient. I want Godlands. Let's go to the night. Okay. I suppose the Cage Kami would work too. Kage Kami? Cage Kami? I'm gonna die. Okay. Hi! Heal up here, and then move back out. Let's see. You know, don't be afraid to run events, just because they're gonna be really good for getting new gear. You do want a new bow, obviously. I should stop teleporting around and just run through events right now, just so I can get better gear. But yeah, again, if you do decide to go ahead and fund your archer, and buy it stuff, you know, definitely go for a bow first. I wouldn't recommend going too crazy on like the higher bows. Like if there's a small amount of difference between like a blood bow and a verdant, or like even a golden bow. Really, you know, whatever you can afford. The damage between like the golden bow all the way up to the blood bow, it's only about 5 each time. So, you know, you're going to be doing maybe 15-20 damage more with the blood bow per arrow. But in the end, you know, really it would be more useful to put the extra defense that it costs for like a blood bow towards a new quiver or a new armor or something like that, or a new ring, like a defense ring or something like that, you know. So if you're gonna get a bow, don't be afraid to go for like a cheaper one, like a verdant bow. Yeah, just because, you know, you're still getting the 3 shots, you're still getting a quick firing bow. It's really just, you know, about 5 damage that you're missing out on total. So yeah, don't be afraid to go cheap if it's gonna save you money that you can put towards something else. What else? Archers are really great, as I said, for like Abyss, at least fighting Malphas in the Abyss. If you can paralyze them when he's small, you know, you'll just take him out in no time. Absolutely no time, like, whatsoever. Let's see, what else? Yeah, you know, the ability is really useful to have, to be able to paralyze an enemy in place, and once you start getting better, and, you know, it does take a bit of practice to learn to aim the quiver and get the speed at which it fires, you know, get that practiced and be able to aim it right. But once you do get that down, you'll be very happy with what you can do with it. You can absolutely do crowd control with it even, just by using a well-placed quiver shot. You know, and you're able to paralyze a Medusa in place and keep her from moving to attack you and that sort of thing. So it's definitely a very convenient thing to have. Or, you know, like, when I'm fighting a Medusa, I don't mind fighting Medusas alone, but once they get other gods around them, that's when things start getting sketchy and hard. And so being able to paralyze, like, an enemy mob in place that's coming after you while you're trying to kill off a Medusa, it's, you know, it's very valuable to have. And, you know, Mystics are good for separating out the gods and the godlands, but again, the problem with the Mystic is that it's even more challenging to try and be able to aim the Mystic's stasis, you know, the AoE for the stasis. It's really challenging to be able to understand, you know, exactly where that's going to land and get like a picture, an idea of where it's going to land, to be able to separate the gods out. You know, just because, especially the later ones, they do have a very large area of effects, and they do last quite a long time. You know, so if you accidentally stasis everything instead of, you know, just like one or two gods that you wanted to get away from that Medusa, then, you know, you're going to end up sitting there and waiting, and it really just slows the pace of things down. But with a quiver, if you're able to land the shot, then you're able to just paralyze the enemies in place, and so you can just drag the Medusa or whatever down a bit further, and then you're out of range while you're still able to do damage to the enemy god. You know, you will still be getting shot at, but once you get far enough away, their shots are so spread out, it just doesn't even matter. You know, so it's really just a useful, versatile ability. See, blam. I actually can only slow him right now, but, yeah, you can imagine him paralyzed would be convenient. Okay, I should probably duck out. I'm not going to be able to fight this with this bow. Unfortunately, I really do need to find a new bow. Mountain Dew Slurpee. What else? I don't know how long I've been recording for. Oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get to level 20. This is taking a whole lot longer than I thought it would. You know, I thought I would be able to get through this pretty quickly, but I can't find a new bow. You know, it really sucks when you're playing a class and you can only find gear and stuff for other classes. But such is the life. Well, so I guess if I would stop teleporting around early on, then I could have found something by now, probably, but... let's see, golden bows do drop in the Godlands on occasion, but anything higher than a golden bow you're going to find from Oryx or events. And those places. So, oh goody, got a beach shield. I hate these gray blobs so very much, the kamikazes, just because they can do a whole lot of damage to you if you're not moving, and they like lunge from halfway across the map to try and get you. It gets pretty crazy the amount of distance that they can actually lunge at you from. So I'm going to go ahead and try and kill this off. You know, they really aren't, Ents aren't all that bad. And hopefully I can get a double bow or something. Don't buff him! Oh, you suck! Why? Why? I can't do this now. I do not feel comfortable. Thanks a lot. I don't feel, okay, I'll just stay until he dies. These green things, the nature sprites, those are what drops a quiver of thunder. So, you know, once you do get level 20 and, you know, decent gear, and hopefully a few max stats, then you're going to want to be farming these things whenever you get a chance. You know, you do actually want to buff them at that point, to try and get the quiver of thunder from the sprites. Let's see. And if I can aim it, oh darn, just a bit shy. If you can aim the paralyze, you know, obviously it's a really great thing to be able to paralyze these guys in place and be able to take them out that way. So, still not quite dead yet. Hopefully I can just finish it off first. Oh, but that's right, he gets healed from his... No, does he get healed from the minions, or does he heal them? I can't remember. Yeah, it looks like he's actually getting healed. Darn it. Or no, doesn't he? I think he heals the nature sprites. I don't know. Thought I saw green above his head, so I thought he was getting healed. I just want him to die so I can see what he drops. Yeah, see, he's getting healed from From the okay, so the nature sprites. Oh god, okay, that could probably hurt me really bad. There we go. That purple loot. And nothing. Nothing useful. Surprise, surprise. But Ghost King, I don't like Ghost Kings. They don't really drop anything. I guess I could be talking tactics. You know, as I said with the nature sprites, paralyzing them is going to be, you know, paralyzing or slowing them as a huntress makes fighting them a whole lot easier. Or if you're a rogue, you can actually, if the sprite is far enough away from other players, you can actually cloak as a rogue and it'll literally just stop moving. So you can just kill it that way really quickly. It doesn't do anything when it takes damage, so that is another way to get at them as a rogue. Let's see, what else? You know, I really love this new update, how it actually shows you the red for negative and green for, you know, if it's better gear. And the double click, it's so useful having this. You know, I didn't really think about that sort of thing, you know, being able to double click items and stuff on and off, but it makes things a whole lot easier. And dead, and a robe, of course. I mean, why would he want to give me a new bow? That'd be silly. Go ahead and kill this first, or pop it at least. Okay, so pro tip for anyone killing Ghost Kings, when he throws out the minions, look for the minion that goes to the east here, this one right here. Try and keep an eye on him. I think he's the center one, if I saw him. Okay, this one ended well. I'm gonna have to bail. I can't do this. Haha. Okay, let's see. Let's go find the Godlands. Let's not go find the Godlands. What is that? Oh, is someone over there? Oh, yeah, he must have, like, teleported right to me once I left. Oh well. Yeah, so golden bows can drop from here. I really wish one would, but I don't think I'm going to be getting one anytime soon. You know, this is the very first bow. I haven't seen a single other bow drop. This kind of sucks. No, double bow, let's see, I believe heavy crossbows also drop from here too. You know, I'd even take, you know, a heavy crossbow at this point. Anything's better than the short bow, literally. Go away, Leviathan. Nobody loves you. Swaggoud. Let's see, I guess I could talk about the NPE, the new player experience that I've been doing. Yeah, I kinda got lazy with that again. You know, it's fun and all starting from scratch, but now I've got all these new character slots and all this new vault space on my main account, all these new pets. I just haven't had much of a desire to go play a completely new character. But I don't know, I guess I'll continue it later, and I'm pretty sure I did decide on, like, I believe a knight, I guess, is what I'm gonna go ahead and do, just because, you know, I do want to do a melee class. You know, I want to be good at melee classes. I just haven't really put in the effort to actually do it, just because from all my previous attempts at it, it just seems like you really do absolutely need you do need to be able to pot it up with defense bots to make it a viable class. You know, even with good gear, you just really do need that. Dang it, sorry. You do need the defense to make it viable, and really that literally just spawned in, and like one wave of those is gonna kill me easy. Scary stuff, man. But hey, maybe we can. No, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get anything out of this. I'm actually hitting 40s, so this has like very low. What's that? Paradef ring. I shouldn't take it, because I know he dropped it for me. This is cheating. But, you know, I can't say no to a Paradeath ring. That's silly. Go away, Leviathan. Aw, snap. That pro quiver. You see that? Darn it! Stop that! You're making me cheats, oh god. Nope. Okay, 40 health. But yeah, so this is, let's see, this is going to be a Hippogriff hide armor and a Paramount defense ring. So, yeah, good gear. Again, I don't have a bow, which is the one thing that, you know, of everything else that I actually do want. I was going to take a quiver, but since I'm already cheating, but oh well. You guys get the idea. Find a bow as early as possible, because that's really what you want. And if you get your soulbound damage in on an event, but if you nexus out, that soulbound damage actually doesn't count anymore. It like resets any of the damage you did, so you won't get a drop unless it dies before you nexus. So just a fair warning, try and stay in the realm if possible if you're doing an event. You know, back out, teleport to someone, do something like that instead of nexusing. But unfortunately, I believe I'm going to have to nexus here, because those eyes are going to bombard me. The Penteract eyes, not the beholders. And now there's 3 Penteract eyes, and... or 3 beholders, rather. Did I kill one? I don't know. Go ahead and drink that. Go away. Oh. Nope. Okay, time to go. Darn. Okay, I'm going to... I don't even know, because I'm getting close to level 20 now, so pretty soon here it's going to start sending me to out in the Godlands anyway. So yeah, what's it sending me to right now? The Ghost King. They don't even drop good stuff. It sucks. Why are you trading me? Go away. Too far to trade with. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I shall be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I actually went out to go eat and get a new phone. So, I'm back now though. And then I guess I'm going to go ahead and get to level 20 and then try and wrap this up now. For the most part, I got everything I wanted to cover for the archer done that I remember. I'm not sure what all exactly I talked about, but I'm pretty sure I got most of it. There shouldn't be too much that I actually missed. I know I covered all of the equipment, the pots and things like that, and oh god, I'm not even gonna touch those. Yeah, I don't know. You know, just be careful as an archer. You don't want to get too close to stuff. I mean, obviously, to use there we go. Happy day. I got a double bow. Now I can kill everything. With the double bow, you know, the triple shot bows, all of these, you do want to get close to your enemies in order to be able to make the most out of all the 3 arrows that you have. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're not getting too confident in yourself. You know, don't be, you know, unconfident, but you don't want to get too confident and, you know, somehow mess up, run into a group of gods thinking, oh yeah, sure, I can take these guys, no problem. And then you just get killed by another god that you don't see, that gets dragged or something like that. You know, you always want to be careful and watch out for enemies that could kill you at any time. You know, archers do use leather armor, so they're not they aren't rogue classes, but at the same time, you're not a melee or a heavy armor class either. So we do have decent defense, but it's definitely not the best. And again, you know, like I said, I do recommend the defense ring. But again, it's up to you and your playstyle on whether or not you actually want to use that ring. So I don't know about farming. Like, just to finish up here, is supposed to be like an archer farming guide as well. I don't know. I mean, archers are really versatile, I believe. You know, you can you don't necessarily excel in areas where like a necromancer would do better for farming the godlands, or a rogue would be better for farming events, you don't really excel in either of those areas, but at the same time you aren't really like as bad some of the other classes would be. You know, you're able to perform in either of those areas well enough that you will more than likely get soulbound if you're careful, and so it just gives you more options really as to how you want to play. You don't have to like go switch accounts or switch characters or whatever whenever an event pops up and you're farming the godlands, or if there aren't any events at the time and you just rather farm gods. You know, you don't have to go back and get onto your Necro to do that. The archer is able to stay in the realm and just keep on farming and then killing whatever happens to pop up at the time. So that's one of the reasons why also I really like the archer. And then once you do get further on in the game, you know, you're able to acquire the gear that really lets you get up to even higher standards. You know, you're really able to take down events and things like that with the Doom Bow, and then you're really able to mow down minions and gods in the Godlands with the Coral Bow. You know, so it really just does like evolve into like a really, really good class for what it does. And it's very versatile, and you're able to do a whole lot with it. So that's why I recommend, or that's why I generally play Archer. And, you know, it's just my belief that they're really good, well-rounded class, and that's why I use them. But, you know, everyone has their own ways of playing, their own styles, and so, again, it's really just up to you and however it is that you want to play. So, let's see. The only other bow class right now is the Huntress, and the Huntress is, you know, don't get me wrong, it's a good class, but it's not. I don't know. It's hard to explain how it is, you know, compared to the Archer, and like why it is. I've never actually used the Huntress. Whenever I did give Huntress a try, I was only using it with the old traps, and you know, when I used Huntress, we didn't have a coral trap that would actually paralyze enemies. You know, all you could do is slow them and do the damage to them. And while, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, that's really handy, being able to even just slow large groups of enemies. But now you're able to paralyze them as well. So, you know, I definitely see how that's really useful in AoE paralyze, and you know, it's great for like denial of areas if you're going through a dungeon or something like that. You know, you're able to really just control who comes in and who goes out as far as enemies wise. And you know, obviously that's a really good ability to have. But at the same time, I have to aim mine a little bit better, but at the same time I'm able to paralyze earlier on as I'm playing my character, and I'm also, well, as long as I can find the gear, and then you know, I'm also able to do more damage, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It might do, you know, similar damage, but I believe the Archer's quiver actually ends up doing more damage. So yeah, you know, it's a good class. You know, I don't have anything against it, but you know, I'm an Archer. You know, this is what I am at this point. So yeah. Let's see, I guess I could wrap up. I don't remember if I talked about the guild. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I talked about the guild stuff already, but, you know, just a reminder, I will be doing some kind of, at this point, I really think I've, kind of narrowed it down to, like, a scavenger hunt of some sort. I don't know if I like the double click. It doesn't seem very responsive. I might just drag stuff. I don't know. But I'm really warming up to the idea of like a scavenger hunt of like hiding little annotations and things like that within older videos, and having like a list of things you need to find in videos, and like hinting to what video it could be. Something along those lines. You know, I think that would be a little bit more fun, and you know, if you're able to figure it out faster than others, you know, then obviously, you know, congrats, you're more than likely going to get a position in the guild before that. I mean, it's not going to be like extremely hard to do. You know, obviously I don't want it to be impossible to do, but I do want, you know, I just want it to be a little bit more geared towards, you know, there's only 50 slots, like I've said before, so I just want to make sure that the right people are getting in. You know, the more dedicated people that do really deserve it do actually get in. you know, so that's my thought process behind it. I don't know if it does get really like really full really fast. I might just end up opening up another guild, you know, using a second one of my mules to open up another guild. I could do, well, I don't know, because I don't have fame on them, but I could do something like that and just open up a second guild and just do that as necessary. But, you know, I haven't even got the guild out yet. I haven't even done anything for that yet, so I guess we'll keep talking about that once the time comes. But for right now, you know, it's being worked on, and the guild is ready, and, you know, you guys will be able to join pretty soon here. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, it looks like I'm 20 now, level 20. Let's see. Ooh, this is actually a good roll. I was, you know, I was thinking, trying to think of whether or not I actually wanted to make another archer just to have around, and I guess I will. The health is good, but the MP is kind of bad. Let's see, what is that? Plus 22, I believe. I think it's 605 for HP. So yeah, that'd be plus 22 and negative 15. Yeah, so good HP, and you know, HP is really what matters. Since I don't know, I'm not sure how much life pots are anymore, how far they've dropped, but back in my day, HP pots were expensive, and so, or life pots rather, were expensive, and so I'm still happy with the life roll. So yeah, I guess I'll be using this as like my main. Gonna work on potting it up, I guess. I've also got, thanks to that beginners package, I've now got like a rogue started, a necro started, and I believe I have like one more slot. And I do still have my my heart archer that I want to eventually get a Valentine's for. But at this point, you know, that's kind of like a far off dream. They're still expensive, even though they've been duped like ridiculously. So yeah. Okay, I'm getting like some input lag now, and that's kind of scaring me because I really want to save this roll. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish, go through the castle, and then I guess I'll end it there. I do believe I've covered all the more important points towards farming with an archer. You know, again, if you do decide to make a main out of your archer, then you definitely want to be very careful with it if you do decide to use it, or use a second account, or a second character slot to, you know, farm the pots for it. You know, at least get def maxed, you know, at the very least, before you really seriously use it in, like, the more dangerous areas, or even out in the Godlands, you know. Just, yeah, def is always the most important in my mind. So, yeah, that could have been bad. Those, the swords are pretty scary. They do, you know, a decent amount of damage to you, and as well as paralyzing you, so you're stuck there. And there's so many of the little, the haunted armors running around as well. It's kind of making things kind of scary right now. Where's he going to throw that? Where did he throw it? Did he throw it towards the center? I don't even know, man. Didn't see it anyway. Well, I never get soulbound on these guys either. I don't know why. I just can't do it. Even, you know, I mean, I guess I understand with the double bow why I'm not getting, you know, soulbound damage compared to others, but at the same time, you know, still kind of silly. Oh well. Yeah, so there's orcs. I think the a huntress actually opened up and used a coral trap to paralyze all of the minions. You know, obviously, as an archer, if you have a large group of enemies paralyzed in one space, then the quiver, or the arrows rather, since they pierce, you're able to, you know, really do a whole lot of damage to all of those enemies within that trapped area. You know, it's really efficient to use if you're able to trap enough enemies inside that area at a time, which is neat. But I don't know, I guess another trade, actually I'm not sure. I'm not sure how expensive the traps are compared to the quivers. The quivers are actually pretty expensive, as far as MP costs go. I can only get, I believe, like 3 or 4 shots off when I've got my mana max. I think it's actually 3. I don't know, it could be 4. But you know, that's not a lot compared to like wizards. They can, even after their nerf, they can still hit for quite a few spell bombs. Ouch. this is the phase that killed my very first 8-8 archer. It was a sad day. I lagged out, and then I just took like, you know, 2 of those in a quick succession and killed me. Oh, I hate this phase because there's not, I don't know if there is a way around his attacks or not, you know, around the dark moons. If you can get out of the days and the week, if you're able to dodge both of them or not, I don't know. I haven't really found a pattern to get around both of them, but I don't know. Maybe there is. I just haven't found it yet. Slow. Oh, those ninjas, they're so overpowered. Guess I didn't need that. What I get? Nothing? Nothing. Nice. Awesome. Anyways, so that is Archer. I don't know, we're gonna get a wine cellar? We're gonna get a wine cellar? Yeah? Nope, guess not. So that's the Archer and the pot farming guide, I guess. I hope you guys like it. You know, if you guys have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, feel free to leave a comment, send me a message through YouTube if it's important, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys as soon as possible. And I hope to see you guys in the realm. Have fun, guys, and good luck. See ya.